Hey folks, welcome back to Dig Drive DIY. If you're new here, then you may not know that one of my side gigs, and something that I happen to really enjoy quite a bit actually, is restoring stone driveways. I've been working to collect all the right tools for years now. I've got dump trucks, I've got tractors with grader boxes, and I've even got a skid loader now with a special grinding bucket that is just perfect for freshening up an ugly driveway. But even with all that, I still felt like I was missing something to really finish off my projects. I wanted a small roller. And after mentioning that in a previous video, I had a viewer named Travis reach out to me and say that he may have exactly what I was looking for. And he did. It needed a little TLC because the roller was actually broken in half, but after some help from my father-in-law and a local machine shop, we were able to get the thing back up and running and ready for a new life of driveway rejuvenations here on DDD. So I've tried the roller on a lawn to make sure it works, but I haven't got to use it on an actual stone project yet. But today that all changes. I have 3 driveways lined up that you're going to get to see today in this video, and I hope to finish each one of them off with the newly repaired roller. We've got 2 jobs that just need freshened up with a regrade, and then 1 big job on the end that's going to require a lot of new stone actually. But my first hurdle is trying to get everything that I'm going to need all loaded up on one truck. So I'm going to work on doing that, and if it all fits, then it will be time to rock and roll.
Dig Drive DIY.
I get a lot of comments from regular viewers on this channel saying that I'm going to need a bigger trailer to pull behind my dump truck. And as you're about to see, that couldn't be more true than it is with this load. But I need to make do with what I've got right now, and I don't want to make multiple trips back and forth to the house for all the equipment I'm going to need. So I think I can make this fit. This first job I'm going to share with you is for a neighbor named Karen. She has a beautiful property with a nice pond, and she keeps everything looking wonderful. But the weeds in the stone driveway that goes out to her big building, well, they've just gotten a little out of control this summer. She's hoping I can get it looking nice again and give her a fresh start for keeping up with the weeds now moving forward. So I was able to get it all loaded up. Now let's make the 10-minute drive up there and see what we're dealing with. I'm super excited to try the roller out as a finish tool on these driveway jobs. I always think it was just lacking that little final touch to give it that really impressive look, and I think it's going to do it. So yeah, officially the first real job for the roller. We'll see how it turns out. We're almost there. I'm just going to take it easy on this stone road. All right, so we've got skid loader here with the grinder bucket. Basically, this is just another kind of weed situation, just another dress and tune. What am I going to call these? Dress and tune sounds kind of good. We're going to grind things up, mix in the weeds, get things kind of stirred up, and get some loose stone going that we can grade with. And then we'll come in with the grader box, smooth it up, finish with the roller. To me, this looks like a pretty decent job. It looks like there's good stone here. It's just been a while since it's been fluffed and stirred and tuned up, so that's what we're fixing to do. Now my favorite thing. Let's have a look here. Got that churned up pretty good. And I think that's, most of the weeds are ground up out of there. They all look like that. All right, we got a change of the guard here. Traded out the skid loader for the 755 and the Graderbox. I can do a lot better job of just fine tuning, finish grading with that. Gonna try to get everything smoothed up, straightened up. Have to hand rake in the corners a little bit. And then I want to finish with the roller, and that's what I'm excited about. So I wish I didn't have the front end loader on there. If there was anything I want to change, it's not having the loader on the tractor when I do these jobs. It's just a pain getting it on and off of there. So I got lazy and I didn't do it today. I really wish I had a 655. If I could find a 655 four-wheel drive, I think that would be the perfect tractor to pull this little Graderbox. It'd be small, but have enough power and maneuverability. So that's what I'm looking for now, 655. Okay, I think I've got my grading done. I got my stone chewed up, and I'm about to try to roll this in. The other thing I need to have is angle on the Graderbox. If I could angle it, I could crown the center a little bit better. Not tilt it side to side. That would be nice too, but angling it would be huge. And that way I could pull stone from the edges back to the center and essentially create a crown that way. But beggars can't be choosers, I guess. It looks good regardless. I'm gonna pack it in and see how the final result looks. That's the whole point of this job, is to see what the roller would do. Here we are. It's hot. Well, I think that's going to do it for this job. I got everything loaded up, put away, and this rolled out nice. That roller puts a nice finishing touch on this thing. That's exactly what I wanted. I don't know about these fines that keep coming up to the top. I just gotta keep checking my system. I think it's from going backwards with the hydro bucket. I'll get it figured out. The more of these we do, the better they'll get. But that first job for Karen was pretty easy, and it gave me some great experience on loading and unloading the truck and trailer. But now it's time to get to the two jobs that are within walking distance of my actual workplace. All right, we're back on a different day. I'm actually here at G&K Concepts, and I've got another driveway project. It's not here though, it's just down the road. I actually brought the Louie here. We got the roller and the skid loader. The battery was down on the skid steer. I got the 755 and the pull type Graderbox. I'm gonna take the 755 and just drive it down the road to this job and get it graded up, and then I think we're gonna roll it afterwards. And it's just a tune-up. They're having a wedding here this weekend, so they just want it looking as nice as they can. This is a friend of ours that I went to high school with, so I'm just gonna go see if I can get it dialed up for them, have it looking nice for their wedding. Oh, he's taking two at a time. Okay, Mr. Sterling, we're gonna see if we can polish up your driveway.
I appreciate it.
We'll do some circles to see what we can do.
Sounds good. Like that.
Yep. Alright, we've got everything graded up. It's looking pretty good. There's a lot of powder in that stone when you get it stirred up, but I'm going to try to rake down the edges. I got to rake in the stones that got up on the concrete, rake out some of the lines, and then I will grab the roller down the road. I'm trying to figure out how to get it down here. I hate to carry it that far with a skid loader, but I might have to. Alright, well, I made it back here to work. I want to take the roller down there. I can't decide the best way to do this. It's only a half mile down the road. I either got to load this all back up and take the roller and skid steer down there with the dump truck and then park along the road and unload it. Or I could unload the roller here and drive the roller a half mile down the road, which seems not good. Or I could try to carry it down there with the skid loader. And I'm kind of leaning towards that. I think though if I switch and I pick up the other end of the roller, I think it's probably heavier on the engine side than it is on that side because there's no water in the tank. So I'm going to spin around and pick it up from this side and then see what it feels like, how springy it is. Then I'll decide whether I'm going to carry it down there the whole way. So believe it or not, a lot of the Amish in our area, they all drive their Bobcats up and down the road everywhere, all the time. They kind of use them as transportation. And everybody kind of gets a kick out of it, you know, because they can't drive cars, but for whatever reason, they can drive their Bobcats up and down the road everywhere. And you'll see a Bobcat at Dollar General or at the gas station, no joke, every day. And so right now I feel like one of the local Amish people driving my skid loader down the road because I need to move something. They'll pull gravity wagons with them backwards, by the way. They're always got kids riding in the buckets. And I'm not kidding, man. That's what they do. So that's what I'm doing. Oh yeah, not only is that changing the looks of this thing, I mean it looks so much smoother. It looks like concrete really, but it's easier to walk on, so you're not kicking up a bunch of stones. And since they're going to be having a wedding here with a lot of people and a lot of foot traffic, I think this was the smart move. Definitely fallen in love with that roller. That thing is slick. All right, I'm going to do this part up front and then we'll have a look at it all done. Well, that looks pretty different. It's pretty good. It's nice all rolled out, actually. We're going to do a little rolling on the yard right there. Try to level that up. This is forward and reverse, throttle, and then the vibratory is over here on the side. It's just a switch.
Trying to find out where they are, do we?
I don't know. If you want to, I mean, just don't sit still and let it vibrate. As long as you're moving and vibrating, I don't think it'll hurt anything. I think it'll do more rolling like that. So, yeah, Sterling's going to try it on. He's been watering this, so it's kind of wet. Oh yeah. A great spot for a wedding. So their middle son is going to get married out here, right out there by the willow trees, and people are going to be seated around the pond this Saturday. It's going to look beautiful. They have everything looking so nice. It does make it look like concrete, at least for the time being. It's so much easier to walk on, you know.
Yeah, it's not so loose.
Well, you got it looking nice.
It looks like a paved driveway.
Yeah,
Doesn't it?
it does.
Looks awesome.
For now. Don't let your UPS man turn around in here.
Right?
Sterling's a UPS driver, by the way. All right, well, if you're happy with it, I'll be happy with it.
Looks great. Yeah, actually, I was in my uniform in the last video
That's right, you were.
with the gypsum. Absolutely. Thanks again, Neil.
You're welcome. On to the next one. Thanks for lunch. All right, well, we got everything dressed up for Sterling. I think the place is looking nice. It's going to be a beautiful wedding this weekend, so happy that we could be done there. But today we're moving down to the next neighbor's place. We're going to go just to the east or the other side of G&K Concepts to Micah's place. Micah, he's a good friend of the family, and he's somebody that also volunteers at Harlan Days. They do an event out there called the Harlan 500, so we are going to try to get his driveway fixed up in front of his shop. He's been asking me to help with this since early this spring, probably March or April, I'm embarrassed to say, but unfortunately it's right across the road from work and I see it every day nearly, but today's the day. We're going to see if we can get the edges cut out where he wants to add stone, and then we're also going to cut out along the edge, along the side of his building, because he's got a door on the east side of the building, but he's never had a driveway going back there to it. So there's already been 2 loads of stone delivered, and those are kind of staged and ready. They're a little bit in my way, but we're going to try to get this all laid out and marked out with some orange paint so we can define the edges. Then I'll cut them out with the edger and start removing the topsoil. We want to get the sod and the dirt out of there, and then we'll start bringing stone up, and it's going to take a fair amount of stone. I ordered 4 loads of stone to show up this afternoon after 12 o'clock, hopefully. I got 4 or 5 coming. There's 2 here. That's going to be a good start, and I think it might take some more. But let's get this laid out and start cutting. This is a fairly big project for me, really. So let's see how it goes. The hydro bucket is fine for doing this, but I got a lot of dirt to move, and Greg has a bigger bucket right there where I work at G&K. So I'm gonna go steal Greg's big bucket and can move more dirt per scoop. Makes sense to me. You can see that bucket's just bigger. I'm taking too much of a cut out of some of that stuff, but we'll get her squared up. Got a little bit of a hole there, but we'll get her doctored up once I get going here. All right, I think I got all this cut out now. Leveling some of this up, push it in here, then start bringing some of this stone in so we can spread it out. And they should be showing up with stone in about 30 minutes, so I want to be ready for them. So we're about there. Stone's coming faster than I want it. Okay, that's 3 loads. 1, 2, 3. By the time I get all that cut out, we'll start using this up a lot faster. All right, that makes a total of 6 loads of stone, and I think I'm gonna need one more, even though I haven't got these piles knocked down. I know It's hard to gauge until you get it all down there. But I sent the orange triaxle that was here last. Actually, she was the first one here and the last one here so far. She's going to get one more load. I'm going to jump in the skid loader and start knocking stone down and just getting it dressed up. We've still got a little bit of dirt to dig out over here on this side, which shouldn't take too long. Once we get this knocked down, get those piles out of the way, then we can finish up this edge. That's going great. Actually, having Micah help me, because he's doing the edge, the labor stuff, and I get to do the fun stuff. Alright, we've got pretty much all the dirt moved out of the edges now. We got our last load of stone was just delivered, and now I'm just going to start moving stone everywhere it goes. Okay, I think I probably got too much stone. It's really hard to tell. I wish I could have had the stone brought as I was putting it down, but I just couldn't keep up. We'll get this knocked down, and if there's a bunch left over that I got to deal with, I can either truck it out of here. They could use a little bit on their other driveway. There's always a use for stone, so it's not the end of the world if I don't use it all. Well, just like that, another day has came and went. You know what? I tell you, there is nothing like, for me anyway, running equipment. There's nothing like running equipment to melt the day away. Anytime I've got something I'm really trying to get done, especially if I'm somewhat under the gun, like anticipating those loads of stone that were showing up, the hours of the day just melt off like seconds. It's unbelievable how fast a day can go when you're really focused and trying to get something accomplished. And I knew it was probably going to be more than a one-day job, but you know, I was hopeful I could get it all polished off yesterday, but this is reality. I got a lot more to do yet. Got to move those two piles back beside the building. I'm probably going to have too much stone. I overestimated by probably at least one load, and that's okay too. I should have waited and ordered it today, but I can get it out of here. They can use it somewhere else. It's not the end of the world. I'm going to jump in the skid loader, start moving those piles. Once I start filling it along the building, it'll really start coming together. Get an eyeball on this. I got to do the edges. One of the things I always like to do on the edges is I go to the edge very slowly. If you start getting too much stone by the edge, then you're just asking for trouble. You're asking to roll stone out into the grass where you don't want it. And remember, I've said this before, a tip for doing this type of work is don't put stone or don't put dirt where you don't want it. Sounds super simple, but when you think about it, it's super effective. You know, you don't want to dump something too close to the edge because it's going to be difficult to get it away. So I take my time and work my stone out to the edges gradually, and that also helps to pack it in along the edge as you go. You don't get it fluffed up too high. And so that's what I kind of been doing up here, is just getting the stone pushed out to the edges, and I'll eventually get it there. And then we'll bring in the Graderbox, fine tune it. I want to roll this down to see what it looks like, and hopefully, if all goes well, and I'm lucky, I will be out of here today. So Mike is hauling out a little bit of that extra stone we got. He's going to put it over in their other driveway by the house. So that's good. We're making use of that. He borrowed the neighbor's skid loader, which is in really nice shape. Low hour machine, by the way. That thing is nice. 332. One thing I wanted to point out as I'm doing this is that I am not a proficient skid loader operator yet. I am in the process of learning. And it's really enjoyable for me to get on a job, something like this, where, you know, I'm not under the gun. I didn't give them a price by the hour. That's one thing you got to avoid, especially when you're starting out, is pricing by the hour, because you're going to spend some hours learning. And especially with the hydro bucket, because I'm using that right now to grade, it works really good to help level things up. I'm getting better, but you know, this is somebody I'm fairly proficient at running backhoes and excavators and some other equipment. I can run a dozer decently, not super well, but I just never got onto a skid loader that well. So, but I'm learning. It's coming. I'm getting better all the time, more and more better. The tracks make it easy to grade. They make it like grading more with a dozer, and I like that. So the main thing is that, I mean, it's still fun. Well, this girl here is getting thirsty. About went through a tank of fuel already working here, but we've got most of the stone moved into where it needs to be. It's still got some dippy doos in here a little bit, but I got it pushed out to the edge. I'm gonna grab the Graderbox and just start dragging it around a little bit to see how things shape up with it. Like right now there's a lot of loose stone, but there's powder in it, so this is a great application for that roller too. Something this big that's had this much stone put into it will be great for running that vibratory roller and getting it packed in here. Things will change a little bit too. Might can only hold off, I think, less than a load of stone out of here, and you can't really tell that there's too much or anything like that. I don't think there is. Well, it was going pretty well. I was grading around the Graderbox thinking this is going to be my last pass, and then I'm going to jump on the roller and just whatever it is, it is. And when you know it, of course, on the last pass, I had a breakdown. The bolt on the end of that power steering cylinder came out from right there. I've had it happen before, but the bolt dropped out, so I lost my steering, and if I had to guess, the bolt is somewhere in that pile of stone right there. So I'm going to try to back up and see if I can find it. Oh, there it is. It's actually back here. It must have just fallen out. Now, could I get lucky enough to get that guy back in there and finish this job? Okay. It's back together. It's not fixed 100% right, but it is fixed. I think it's well enough that I can finish up and get that thing loaded up. I'm gonna have to put some attention towards that 755. But anyway, I want to just get done here and then get the roller over here. I really want to see what this looks like when it's rolled in. This is going to change this one a lot. I think I'm going to call that quits with a Graderbox and quit pushing my luck. I got to run over, I'm going to load this up onto the trailer, and then I'll grab the roller. You know, I gotta say, running this roller is just about as satisfying as running the Graderbox. I mean, the result that comes out afterwards is so satisfying in terms of how it looks. It takes something that looks pretty good, and you would assume is good enough, even with it being rough and some of the ridges in it, and it turns it into something else. Like it's like completely finished. It makes it look almost like concrete, and it's actually kind of fun running the roller. You know, I haven't gotten bored of it yet, but having the roller on these last 3 jobs has really upped the game, and I don't know that I'll be able to do a driveway knowing that this thing, you know, I don't know if I can do another driveway without it, knowing what it can do and how it makes it look after the fact. It's kind of like literally the icing on the cake. So I'm just forever thankful to Travis, who hooked me up with this roller. I mean, what a sweet machine. But the rolling is the shortest part of it too. It only took me about 35 minutes to roll out everything here at Micah's driveway, and I got to tell you, it looks pretty good. I'm content with that. I'm going to call it good for now. We were able to use up all those loads of stone. He took 1 load of stone over to the house. I haven't even checked on him yet. I think he's grading over there. He tried out my skid loader and the hydro bucket, but I'm going to go see how he's doing. But otherwise, for the main part of the driveway here, I'm going to call this done. I'm happy with it. I think it turned out great. The roller worked well on all 3 jobs. I think that thing has become pretty popular in the neighborhood now that people know that it's around and seeing how it can finish up these driveway jobs. I had a good time working for Karen, working for Sterling, and finishing up here at Micah's. But that's enough driveways for at least a week or 2 until I get back at it. I'm going to call that good. Got a lot of other stuff to work on. I got something for that cub coming up. I got a surprise at the house that some people have already spotted, and I got something this fall that's going to be really cool coming up. Hope you're sticking around for that. I want to thank you so much for clicking on this video. I hope that you liked it, and if I'm lucky, I'll see you in the next one. the next one won't be a driveway video. Thanks so much for watching.